Hi guys, Kevin here from the Wild Weiss group. If you aren't familiar with who I am, you may recognize me as Killua on the Weiss Reddit and Discord servers. Today I brought to you guys an English power ranking for the upcoming Springfest events. This ranking will follow a similar style to Japanese YouTuber Austin Familia, where his approach is to survey the best players in Japan on the state of the meta. For my list, I've done the same, serving a handful of competitive English Weiss players. Here is a general layout of this video. First we'll talk about which sets were surveyed, who was surveyed, and each title individually. Titles that are being ranked are from sets that have made a top 8 appearance during the 2019 BCS season and sets that are released in December 2019 to sets that will be released in May 2020. This is because sets that didn't make a competitive impact would have been ranked lowly anyways, so as to save time for my surveyees, I've only chosen sets that have shown competitive results in future sets. We have a total of 23 titles that were ranked, 17 titles that have achieved a top 8 appearance, and 6 titles released within December and May. For the sake of people who like to watch these videos without visuals, I will read out each title. Attack on Titan, Bang Dream, Batman Ninja, Cardcaptor Sakura, Fae Apocrypha, Gale Online, Gurren Lagann, Kancolle, Abyssal, Konosuba, Love Life Sunshine, Persona 5, Project Diva F, Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai, ReZero, Sword Art Online, To Love Ru. And for sets that have yet to be released, Bang Dream Season 2, Fate Stay Night Heaven's Feel, Fantasia Bunko, Goblin Slayer, Jojo, and Sword Art Online Alicization. If you haven't noticed, unfortunately sets like Revue Starlight and No Game No Life, which had a recent release, were not able to make any competitive impact and did not make the list. Next are the players that I've surveyed. These players were either people who went to Worlds 2019, attended several BCS events during the 2019 season with at least a top 8 performance of their own, and or competitive English content creators for the Weiss scene. I was able to get a total of 16 players who were able to complete my survey. While the sample size is not the biggest, I am grateful to these players who took the time to answer my survey, and hope they'll do so again if I decide to make another one of these videos in the future. Here you might recognize some of these players, including 2018 and 2019 World Champions, and players from Burn 1 and Strictly Broken teams. Finally, we are at what you have all been waiting for, the ranking of each title. But first let me talk about how each of these sets were rated. Each of the players that were surveyed was asked to rate each of the set on a scale of 1 to 10 on the power level of that set to carry a team to a top 4. The scores from every set was then averaged out and multiplied by 10 to get a 0 to 100 scoreline. Each player was also allowed to state which build from the set is currently the strongest. Sets not released yet were not voted on by every player due to some unfamiliarity with how the deck runs in the Japanese meta or will run in the English meta. First up in 23rd place with a total of 34.38 points, Batman Ninja. Unfortunately the lowest of the decks surveyed. This set is not on anyone's radar. Pretty unfortunate for an English exclusive set. This set has a lot of modern day tools, but split traits plagued it from being any good. Majority of responses seem to put TD Book Level 1 combo and a Pants Restand combo as the deck of choice. Focusing on a utility from blue, using stuff like Grodd and Batclan to at least deny reverses is your best plan. In 22nd place with a total of 35.63 points, Project Diva. For such an old deck in the English scene, it's nice to see that it still gets top 8 appearances last year. The highlight of this deck is the Soundless Voice package, allowing you to potentially get 3 lanes of huge walls. However, this gimmick won't always work. Missing modern day tools to boost its consistency and not having a second game plan for when your walls are answered is still a problem for this deck. Hopefully one day English will get a PDX release. In 21st place with 40 points flat, Kancolle Abyssal Fleet. Another surprising one to see get a top 8 appearance. Unfortunately, I am not too familiar with this set myself, but the level 1 combo can still provide some annoying disruption that can lead to your victory, sniping out some essential back rows from your opponent. Here we have our first point jump. In 20th place with 53.13 points, Gurren Lagann. Winning with the power of mechs, the most popular build seems to be the Kamina level 1 into Stunner combo. Kamina letting you dodge reverses and getting a small bit of compression, and Stunner giving you a blowout top end. However, there are some mentions of the Gurren Lagann stock soul combo working well with your Thunder wall pieces and getting you reverses. And instead of Thunder combos, there's also mention of the merge package, getting you burns off at level 2 and level 3. Overall a decent deck, but the Thunder and merge combos aren't good enough to put this deck on higher tiers. In 19th place with 53.75 points, To Love Ru. Similar to Project Diva, this deck has been around for a couple years now and is still managing to get tops. The tried and true Yami Khan build, if you are able to weather the early to mid game and not fall behind, Yami is still a really strong card to ensure that you get those last few damages in. While it's not likely at this point, let's hope that eventually English will get the second set to come over, giving the set access to Wormhole as a decent disruption tool, especially with new decks with strong effects like Priestess and Rider. In 18th place with 56.25 points, Fate Apocrypha. What used to be the best Fate deck in the franchise, an overall decent deck. The Stoffel level 1 combo is a combo choice, giving you loop ability into level 2 and denying reverses. The set has a unique level flipping mechanic along with Mordred being a decent finisher. One of the biggest highlight is a Dragon level 3 providing you cheap heals, cancel burns, as well as a denying level 3 reverses. In 17th place with 56.67 points, Jojo. The first of our 6 new releases, Jojo is slated to come out in the middle of the Springfest season, and unfortunately is not in the hottest position compared to the other 5. However, Jojo is still a popular title that players will likely pick up, so it won't be surprising if you see it during your Swiss rounds if your Springfest is after its release. The deck of mention is a bar combo and an empty gate or standby CX to help you plus. The whole bar shell is very nice, easily getting you level 1 combo into large walls, and your finisher combos off of the same CX. Very nice. King Crimson is there to supplement your endgame, reducing the damage you take. And in 16th place with 58.13 points, Cardcaptor Sakura. The other English exclusive set, CCS, has a pretty awkward reputation. With it appearing to be weaker than its Japanese counterpart, it has surprisingly made a top 4 appearance in the BCS World Championship. The build most voted for is the 4th place Worlds build, TD Stoxel combo with the Reflect top-in, where you have a lot of modern day tools and the Reflect build able to disrupt some matchups into your favor. There were small mentions of Record Claw Kick builds and the Sage and Egg Soul builds, but red and yellow is often your focus of color. In 15th place with 61.25 points, Kancolle. Also a set that has been in English for years, but instead Kancolle was fortunate enough to get multiple sets. The build has evolved over time with each set that came out, and currently Prince level 1 combo and Kashima top-end is the meta build of choice, letting you wall out at level 1 with Prince and Z3 engine and getting an efficient top-end with Musashi and Kashima. The deck can still put up work. You also have access to anti-salvage and anti-heal. While not as oppressive as it was when the set was first released, it can still be a relevant tech in some matchups. While being in 15th place is nice, hopefully the 5th Kancolle sets will come out one day to bring those numbers up. In 14th place with 62.50 points, Gale Online. A solid set in the meta at 14th. The main build players are looking towards is Len TD combo and the level 3 burner. The votes were basically unanimous without a single mention of the Union Bar combo for level 1. What the TD level 1 combo gives, while not providing you a high quality plus, is an awkward position for your opponent with your multiple lanes of level 1 bombs. One of the biggest highlights of the deck is being able to field triple level 3s at level 2 for only 4 stock, but unfortunately your top end is not the best for pushing game, so you rely on your early plays to give you a good lead. In 13th place to 63.64 points, Sword Online Alicization. As you can tell, the set is rated lower compared to regular style set. Unfortunately, with the Floodlight trait locking, you can't mix the two sets together that well. While the set has yet to come out in English, it hadn't had much of an impact on the Japanese scene. However, the highlight of the set is a pretty strong finisher in Kirito, along with one of the early style sets events called Gram, making your opponent unable to use backups or events in any of your attacks during that turn. The biggest problem is to getting to that endgame safely, as you lack some good tools to do so. In 12th place with 68.13 points, Persona 5. After its good performance during the 2018 World Championship, it hasn't had the same performance during the 2019 season. Being in the top 12 still shows that there is still some favor in the deck between the top players. Maybe not S tier, but still a strong deck in the hands of a good pilot. Your level 1 has marking swapping walls and a 2-1 Joker to help you wall out. Your top end is still very powerful with Joker finisher and Skull to help you remove your opponent's board and get multiple burns off. Not in the same position as it once was, but still a good deck to consider. In 11th place with 69.75 points, Bunny Girl Senpai. A deck that was once a menace in the Japanese scene, being a deck to beat, has come to English near the end of the 2019 BCS season. It even got a couple tops during the few events that I was able to partake in. However, being in 11th place means that the top players do not believe the set will have the same results as it did during its run in Japan. What this deck offers is an easy to achieve double early play heal and a pretty annoying top end with Futaba Bodyguard, which can pick players off who are unable or unprepared to deal with it. However, a lot of the upper tier decks does have access to a way to deal with her using bounce effects as a removal. In 10th place with 72.73 points, Fantasia Bunko, another set that is yet to be released but stronger than that. Unanimously, everyone voted for 8 standby build to be the build of choice, providing you one of the biggest 2-2 walls in the game. You can win multiple lanes in a good chunk of your game, forcing your opponent to run out of resources while you use your resources to heal instead of replenishing board. A powerful control deck that also has access to a double and egg 2 soul counter. However, the set does not have a highly proactive top end, so you have to hope that you can stop your opponents from getting a good top end off of their own. In 9th place with 73.75 points, Bang Dream. It wouldn't be a stretch to say this is one of the most popular series in the game, having lovable waifus and multiple different types of decks, but the most notable mentioned deck is the Fever Cosme and Mocha build. Fever Cosme allows you to high roll into a lot of pluses, while Mocha is an efficient yet powerful finisher. There are also mention of the Christmas Cosme combo from the first set, providing you a level 1 combo that doesn't get stopped by level 1 walls, and the Yukina finisher, providing a more explosive top end, while you have powerful tools with Stock Swap and Ariset 3-2, removing your opponent's compression and free stock from Himari and Twilight Event. Your early game power and utility at level 0 has a lot more to desire. Overall a strong set nonetheless. In 8th place with 77.50 points, Sword Art Online. Another extremely popular series, tons of plays throughout many years in both languages. The most popular build of choice is Yuki Sinon. Yuki provides a non-interactive plussing and hand fixing, as well as 2 card compression, being able to pay out CXs, ditch out CXs, and loop into herself the next turn. Sinon is still a card that can steal games, especially if you use Stock Swap, providing good decompression. Instead of Sinon, there are some players that prefer an empty gate CX with awesome top end that combos with the same gold bar as Yuki, allowing you to play towards money counter and having smaller burns over the large Sinon burns. Instead of Yuki, you can also play standby with the gate to go more towards a control deck, walling with 1/1s, 2/2s, and healing with Liz and Silica into a heavier focus of your money counter. Regardless of which route you choose, it's consistent and strong. In 7th place with 79.83 points, Love Life Sunshine, Chico Yo. That's it. There's a reason why the duo is restricted in Japan. The card combo can win you games, but compared to JP, you have less consistency from missing out on the second list, keeping it from being too powerful in the meta. Currently, the level 1 most player on is Chica, giving you higher quality plus stock and board removal. However, Ruby does not require reverses, can loop, and sometimes your opponent just eats all the damage. Ruby is definitely a high roller option. Overall, you can heavily push damage in the set in the mid game to give you the lead in the match. In 6th place with 83.75 points, Bang Dream, but with second season. With the second season, a lot can actually change for Bang Dream. There are 2 main routes you can go for: play the old Kasumi Mocha with new level 0s you get with Ras, or play the new level 1 combo and finisher. The 1-0 ties a 6k plus in combo that doesn't really need reverses and helps you fix trigger on the attack, allowing you to hit standby on demand or make sure your Twilight Event doesn't miss. The new Kasumi finisher has a similar damage spread as Yukina, but requires less resources and can still do damage even without reverse targets or needing the CX. However, this is in exchange for the on-play heal. Overall, BD2 gives more options to the meta build and is worth looking into. Now for the top 5 sets. In 5th place with 84.55 points, ReZero. With a consistent level 1 game that almost everyone runs, the question always is, which top end do you run? But it seems that almost everyone answered with the stock soul build as the best, allowing you to double early play for effectively 2 stock. You present a board that has to be answered, or else you'll constantly gain more and more compression as long as the 2 characters stay on board. This build also gives you easy access to Reinhardt. While not a character you'll always go into, this beast can ruin a lot of decks' game plan. There were a few mention of the 8-book build and none for the gate top end. All in all, a strong early game into a strong mid game and a top end that does well and suffice. A strong deck for this upcoming season. In 4th place with 86.25 points, Konosuba. Having a strong showing of worlds with 3 decks making the top 8 cut, this deck is a force to be reckoned with. Known for its ability to +2 every turn and its extremely explosive top end, it is a deck that can kill some of the best players from level 2. The 3-2 Megumin also answers a lot of stuff in the meta, stuff like Rider, Futaba Bodyguard, and Priestess, all of which become null and void against her. And of course, the Foreclosure Aqua combo will destroy most good compression, additionally helping towards your finishing turn. A killer top end and a card that supplements you throughout the game, definitely a deck to consider playing during the season to snipe some wins. Now we are hitting the final 3. In 3rd place with 86.88 points, Fate Stay Night. Winning the Japanese World Championship and getting heavily hit in the February ban list, Fate was the best deck in the Japanese metagame and is looking to do the same in English. However, the 2 events that I took part of during the English release has yet to make a top. But one of the events was Worlds and the other one was the same day release of the set. One of the biggest concerns of the deck is the prevalence of Konosuba in English, being pretty good counter to Fate. Otherwise, Fate attempts to have a strong toolbox level 0 and level 1, being able to access every card in their deck consistently and a powerful Akatsuki into refresh combo, preventing refresh damage and gaining a draw. The level 0 and level 1 bomb can remove most early game nuisances, with a global clock encore assist allowing you to constantly keep these up, as well as looping your level 1 combo. While not invincible, the Rider combo can be devastating for most decks. Overall, super consistent and has tools to disrupt your opponent. In second place with 90.77 points, Goblin Slayer. The newest set released as of this video. Goblin Slayer also sits at the top of the Japanese meta, however the two builds differ between the two languages. In this survey, the majority of the build of choice is the Priestess build, giving you multiple lanes of negative soul damage at level 2, making you a menace if your opponent cannot answer them. This card can potentially give you multiple turns where you do not receive damage. While the majority of people have spoken about Priestess, there are also a good amount of remarks towards the Japanese standby build. Looking to control the game with the Witch Assist, Heal 5 event, and Bounce Counter event that the Priestess builds don't often have access to, due to the resources committed onto the Priestess 3-2 themselves. The last build mentioned is the 8-gate build, having the same early game as the previous two, but you have a less explosive but more standard top end, providing heals and burn 1, a simpler but effective top end between the three builds. Regardless of what you choose, know that your powerful level 1 game can carry you up. Now, finally, the best deck in the meta. You probably figured it out already with a total of 92.50 points. We have Attack on Titan, the World Championship deck with a lot of showings at Worlds, even got a couple wins during BCS season. This deck has not changed for years, but is still rated as the best deck in the English meta. Why is that? Aaron combo is very strong, the 9 decks of reverses. 3D gear also helps to play towards reverse denial and allows you to easily toolbox into any card you need. Your top end is still very strong with Mikasa and Armin assist. Armin is a very strong out to a lot of control decks, providing you hexproof for a lot of the disruption. However, Attack on Titan is not without this flaw. Not drawing your Wind CX can put you in a bad position. Your triggers are not the greatest, where none of them pluses you, and now there's a deck that's favored against AOT. Being the third highest rated deck, Fate, with multiple clock bombs to deny Aaron and Ryder being a good answer to Mikasa, it really puts AOT in a less favorable position compared to other matchups. Will Fate be enough to take AOT off its pedestal during the Springfest events? Well, most people would think otherwise, but only time will tell as we watch the outcome of each event. At last, we are done, and here we have the final overview of all the sets and rankings and scores. Once again, I would like to thank everyone who responded to my surveys, and if there's enough support, I would like to do this type of power ranking again for the autumn BCS season. Below, I will link to Austin's Familia's channel. Check him out for some good Japanese Weiss content. I will also link a transcript article of this video and results from the surveys from people who gave me permissions to share it. Thank you for listening, and good luck during the Springfest season.